We're ready to go? Are you ready? Ready to roll? All right. Hey everybody, this is Austin Hill Shaw, founder of Creativity Matters and author of The Shoreline of Wonder on Being Creative. Today we're continuing with our series on creativity and Bay Area innovation. Creativity and Bay Area innovation. And the subject for today is play. We're going to talk about the subject of play, okay? In order to do that, I'm going to take this thing, this smartphone, and put it down. It's actually not my smartphone. My smartphone is recording this. This is just my case, right? This is my case. But anyways, we're going to take this and put it down because I think the smartphone is one of the ways in which a lot of us are losing opportunities to play. This particular segment was inspired by a trip that I took to Golden Gate Park in the middle of San Francisco, a beautiful park designed by Olmsted, same guy who designed City Park in Denver, Colorado, where nearby where I went to school and where I played lacrosse. Anyways, on a trip there, we went to this place called Korra Children's Playground. Beautiful structures, almost like climbing walls. There were slides. There were things with ropes that you can climb on. There are all these bridges that you could cross over, and this nice squishy substance below it, so that if you fell down, you wouldn't hurt yourself. And as I do, I was curious about the place. I came over to a plaque, and I went over to a plaque that I saw, and it said, this was the first children's playground in the United States, and it was established in 1887. So, that's a long history, and to think that there hadn't been playgrounds for that, places especially for kids to hang and play was it was shocking to me, and I was both. It made me feel even more profound love that for whatever reason, this innovation called a playground was first at least established in the Bay Area, at least in the United States as far as I know. Don't hold me to that. But it was really endearing. It was endearing to me. And as a parent, with two children, one who's 2.5 and one who just turned 6, I spend a lot of time in parks and playgrounds. And what do I see? What do I see a lot of the time? I see this. I see other parents just doing this. They're just like this. The kids over here, they've been taken care of. At least they're, keeping themselves occupied. And they're just, people are on their phones all the time, on their phones all the time. And I don't want to pretend that I have not done that myself. There's times where I need to be in charge of whatever's coming in the day, I don't want to say that I'm immune to this either. But the more that I can put that thing down, right, the more that I can put it in my pocket, the more that I can kind of leave it aside, and the more that I can actually play with my kids, the more enriched my life is, right? The more enriched my life is, because there's a natural desire within us to play. And I think for a long time, it's been thought that playing is something that you do when you're young, or you do it on weekends. But then there's this part of the week that, when you're going for the Monday through Friday, the grind, that you're not allowed to have fun, right? That there's something where you're not allowed to be playful. And research is showing is that, in order to lead a creative and innovative life, play has to be a fundamental aspect of that. Our ability to not hold onto things like super tight and be overly serious and worried and deadline driven, but to be in the moment, to be curious, to bring in a sense of humor. All those things can contribute to our ability to lead creative lives, and by extension, fulfilling lives, right? When you have play that happens in group settings, think of a team, think of two teams, all right? Think of one team that's really serious, has a lot of very rigid structures in place, and you're not allowed to fail, right? You're not, failure is seen as a bad thing. You have to basically stay within this tight little box, okay? Let's call this group A, and then over here say we have group B, okay? And group B is actually allowed for people to bring forth their humanity, they bring forth their personality, they're allowed to say what's on their mind, they're not castigated for being wrong, they're actually encouraged to try things so that they can learn. I mean, what do you think that's like, right? What do you think, who's going to be more creative and innovative? Team A over here, Group A, or Group B, all right? Well, you probably imagine it's Group B, okay? It's Group B. But a lot of us, in terms of when we're setting our tens, when we're trying to tackle difficult challenges, that we often, as adults, put ourselves, unknowingly into sort of Group A situations where we're trying to be rigid about it, we're trying to control all aspects of it, and we're not allowing that play to come in. Well, this is the precise thing that was going on actually when Disney Corporation, who was basically a Group A organization, back in the 80s and 90s, they'd had all these amazing innovations and creativity early on in The Lion King, and then they were sort of stuck, versus Pixar, which was kind of as a startup initially, where they were trying to innovate this idea of animation and technology, but not only that, but great stories. They were creating an environment almost spontaneously around, this expression, right? Around expression and play and curiosity. So the leadership team in Disney actually brought the leadership team at Pixar over to Disney and said, can you teach us how to bring what you do into our culture? Because we haven't had, a blockbuster hit in years. And they did that. Ed Catmull, John Lattiser, they moved over here, and they actually started working with Disney, kind of as consultants, while they were also working at Pixar. And it said it took them 4 years to turn that organization around, which is ironic. I mean, think of Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck and Goofy, right? The Lion King, all these amazing characters. I mean, even though those are amazing movies, the rigidity, like the sense of Disney as an institution, it brought the playfulness out of it and turned it into this rigid, ossified culture, right? So the whole point of this is that in order for us to be more creative and innovative, and beyond that, just more happy, we have to figure out ways of bringing play into the workspace, okay? And not only in the workspace, into our lives. Think of how many relationships and marriages get, there's that antagonism grows simply because both partners have lost sense of humor. Somebody says something like, did you mean that? I can't believe you said that, right? There's no play in that. It's like, maybe they meant that, maybe they didn't, but there's no flexibility when we're these sort of reactive beings, right? We have to bring play into all aspects of our lives. We also, especially if you are parents with kids, it is so important that you participate in the natural playfulness of the young people around you. Sometimes as an adult, it's my role to show my daughters things, to take them, to lead them places, to get them places on time, right? And sometimes when I'm doing that, I'm a taskmaster. But the more I can bring in play, the more I can make a gain out of it, more that I can spark their natural curiosity. I'm less like having to push them through situations, right? And more like, hey, they want to go do that. That's so much fun. This is super fun, Dad, right? Because I'm moving more from my heart, right? Play is this space of heart. It's the awareness of heart there. And for a long time it's been, seen as a lesser ability. But think of those coworkers that you have that are funny, that have, larger than life personalities, that are doing things that are, they do their work, but they also bring this sort of, joy of living into the situation. They make fun of things, and they're not doing it sarcastically. They're not being undercutting. They're just being playful. They're being curious. They're being childlike. That's something that we can all aspire towards. That's something that we can all aspire towards. So here in the Bay Area, I've noticed as I've gone around to tech firms that there's a lot of different, things around play. For example, Facebook has all these sort of, you go on the campus there and there's lots of different things that are sort of references to Star Wars and animation. There's sayings like go fast and break things. That's one of the sayings you'll see around Facebook because they're really into this idea of play, even though they're working with, very advanced technological systems, the thing, the attitude, the behavior that allows them to have breakthroughs at times comes from that attitude of play. The other thing that you often see at tech firms, which, for better or for worse, is not only do they have snack bars, but they often have full bars set up there because they realize that innovation, sometimes an insight problem solving, is enhanced and helped by the use of intoxicating substances. So that's a different sort of play, okay? We'll keep that for another time. But again, this whole idea of us like letting go of our, tight need to be in control and things and starting to sort of dance and being the space of curiosity and wonder and amusement and joy, it's a really great way of actually having more creative and innovative lives. And I'm so indebted once again to the Bay Area for having the first official children's playground in Golden Gate Park, Korra Children's Playground, established in 1887. It's incredible. And if you would like to share any of the ways in which or any techniques that you have by which you bring play into what it is that you do, please share that in the comment sections below this video. I'd love to hear about that. Anything that you do that helps you to move past blockages, or any activities that you do that just allows you, again, to move out of your headspace, to move past your need for information and drops you back into the heartfelt space of being alive, of being a creator, of playing, okay? Of being in that space of play in the world, okay? Please do that. If you're not on my website right now, you can go to www.austinhillshaw.com. If you'd like to share this on Facebook or with friends, I would love that. Love to get this information out there more, and I can only do that with your support. And again, if you have any comment suggestions, or if you would like to see any other information on Bay Area creativity and innovation, please let me know. I'd love to, I'm here to answer any questions I can, and I love your feedback. Once again, this is Austin Hill Shaw, founder of Creativity Matters and author of The Shoreline of Wonder, reminding you to connect deeply, to make a difference, to inspire creativity in others, and to play. Play. Go out there and play. Have a great time, okay? I'll see you next time. Thank you so much.